Hi, I'm Jessica Evans with Love of DC Real Estate, and I'm here today to talk to you about a seller RentBack. Seller RentBacks have been around, I think, for a long time, as long as I've been in business. And they are also known as a post-settlement occupancy. So that's like the formal name that is given to it in our area, but it's still often referred to by agents and consumers as a RentBack. And essentially what a RentBack is after settlement takes place, a seller continues to live in the home. The buyer is now the owner of the home, but the seller is still the occupant of the home. A RentBack can last for 0 to 60 days if the buyer is purchasing the home as their primary residence and they're going to be an owner-occupant. This time frame is limited by the buyer's financing. Now, if somebody's buying a property as an investment property, a RentBack can be as long as the buyer and seller agree on. And the benefit of a seller to a RentBack is it gives the seller a little bit more time to get their future housing plans in order. And that's why we're seeing a lot more of it today, where if somebody owns a home and they need to sell their home and they also need to purchase a home or move into another home, they may need the proceeds of their sale to do that, to complete their purchase. And a RentBack allows them additional time to line up their next home. Now, in our market, 60 days isn't an incredibly long amount of time, but it can make a big difference and can be enough time. And sometimes RentBacks are only a few days. Sometimes a buyer or seller has a settlement date that's very close by and they just need a few extra days. The benefit to sellers is that extra time. The benefit to buyers is also sometimes for buyers, maybe they have a lease that doesn't end for a while, maybe it's actually beneficial to them to have the seller stay and pay rent for a little bit longer. The rent that is typically paid is usually equal to the buyer's actual carrying costs. Now, in our current market, it's not uncommon for buyers to offer a free RentBack to a seller because they're looking for any opportunity to make their offer stand out from the crowd and be a little bit more competitive. So in the past or in less competitive markets, the typical RentBack amount, it's a prorated per day of the buyer's daily carrying costs. And in competitive offer situations, it's not uncommon for a buyer to offer a seller a free RentBack. Now, what are the risks of a RentBack? Well, the risk to a buyer is that a seller may not get out on time, which could be challenging if the buyer has a certain day that they plan to move in. But other than that, they're relatively low risk. There is a deposit that's held in escrow during the time. When a seller does a RentBack, it's important that they document the condition of the property as well as the buyer documenting the condition. Just take some pictures so that if there's any questions, you have something you can refer to. So that's it. If you have any questions at all about any real estate terms or concepts, please feel free to reach out.